So we're backing up, and that's all shadows. We're packing up, we're moving out. The furnace went out last night. We thought we could get it fixed today with parts. That didn't work, and turns out that we got a cracked heat exchanger, which basically means we need a new furnace. Now we got warranty companies arguing over who should have to cover it, the manufacturer or the warranty I paid for in this house. Meantime, we're going to a hotel. Let's get out of here. Story time. So about 2 years ago, July of 2019, bought a house. And some of the things that kind of came out in the inspection that you get with these things is all the little things that could cause you problems later. And a couple of the things that came up were the roof and or the furnace. Now, to mitigate this, they suggested that we have a home warranty put on the house that the sellers would add to the house, so that to kind of help us with that initial investment of having to come into a new house and buy either a roof and or a furnace. $800 was applied, and there was this home warranty purchase. Now, fast forward to 2021, we happened to, on a very cold night, discover that, hey, our furnace is not working. Great. Now, we haven't been thinking about this warranty, and that's not really the focus at this point. Basically did the good old technical support troubleshooting steps, and I figured that, okay, at this point, since it's a fancy furnace with an electric igniter and doesn't have a pilot light, and it's controlled by one of those Ecobee smart thermostats that you can control with your phone, that my issue is basically this igniter is not igniting the gas, or the thermostat is not sensing that there is no gas or whatnot and letting the valve actually kick on to circulate gas. So, did some research, came up with a couple solutions where I could get this thermostat and this igniter in a store without having to go through ye old Amazon, which could take a couple of days of delivery since we kind of figured this out later. So we bundled up, we got everybody in bed, got some extra blankets, set up some space heaters, and went ahead and went to sleep. And I got up and specifically waited until this particular hardware store would open up so that I could go across town a little bit and get this thermostat and this igniter from the hardware store, because the hardware store said they had it in stock. You could pick it up in the store. It would take 2 days to get it delivered to the house, but I could pick it up tomorrow. And I went there in person and didn't really have the best experience there. So let's take a minute and talk about how I felt when I went into the Ace Hardware looking for the parts for my furnace. What really happened, it was a very short conversation. I had basically checked it on the website, and I went in with the expectation that the website was correct. And the guy, he asked me what I was looking for. I told him, and he really just made me feel like I was in the wrong store. He wouldn't even go and check. He didn't even want to acknowledge that the website said there were two of the thing he said was sold a couple days ago, but it was very much a, you need to get out of my store. And that's probably why I'll never go back in that store again. I mean, mission accomplished. I didn't feel welcome. I really felt like he was rushing to get me out when I was sitting in the parking lot debating on whether or not I should order the pickup, because the website still said they had it. I think they sent somebody to watch to see what I was doing. And that's not a fun feeling. So, yeah. Didn't need the parts anyway. Needed a new furnace. So, yeah. But that's just still a bad feeling. Anyway. But that was the go. So now, we basically have had that experience, and I'm not feeling the best. So I went ahead and let my lovely bride go out and search for these two parts in person. And she managed to come up with them, or close enough to the point where we could actually do something to get this going. So we sat down and actually managed to install these parts correctly. And we went, in the moment of truth, we find out they're still not working. And yeah, we spent time, energy, emotional trauma, and $71 to not fix the furnace. So now we call a guy. Just kind of going back and forth, and he comes out to take a look at the furnace. And he goes downstairs, and he's down there not for too long. You kind of hear things going on. We hear the furnace kick on. We hear some different things going back and forth. I'm in meetings all day because, I'm working too. He's working, I'm working, everybody's working. This is just the thing. Come back up. He comes up the stairs, and you can't really get a read on him because everybody's wearing a mask. And he basically says to me, "You need a new furnace." Oh, turns out the heat exchange on this furnace is cracked. And essentially there's a secret reset key that basically when this is cracked and there's something wrong with the heat exchange, it does a reset so that you don't get any actual gas going through. It's a safety feature. So that probably means that the igniter and the thermostat that we had in place weren't actually damaged. They just were not working. So we spent $71 on something we didn't need anyway. Yay. Anyway, so the heat exchange is cracked. And as a safety precaution, it hits this reset and basically shuts down the furnace to keep it from going on so that you don't effectively leak gas and, blow yourself up. Awesome. So now we've got this idea where if we get this new heat exchange, it's going to be about $500 cheaper than just getting a new furnace. At this point, it's cold. Do you have the part and or the furnace? Doing the logistics of that, and then somebody, my wife just kind of mentions, hey, didn't we have a home warranty? Shouldn't it cover this? Huh. And so I called the warranty company and said, hey, my furnace stopped working. And they said, oh, okay. They asked a few questions. Then they asked to speak to the technician. We got him on the phone. We exchanged some numbers. They go back and forth. And they said, all right, we've collected all the information. We'll get back to you on processing your claim. So now we're working and going to school from a hotel. What? So we kind of sitting there like, well, are we going to get it fixed? What we're going to do? Basically, their policy is they don't reimburse you. They have to make the payment first. So we can't say go for any work because we don't have authorization yet. All right.
First world problems.
Good things are going. Feeling good. This is the first time we've actually had a warranty that we paid for, or somebody paid for, that actually was going to be useful before it was running out. Awesome. Feeling good. Feeling good about warranty.
That guy still makes fun of me. Y'all need to tell him to quit making fun of me.
Later we get a call from the warranty company, and they let us know that, hey, your furnace, according to the serial number and the manufacturer, is still under the manufacturer's warranty. So let's pause for a second. So effectively, I bought a warranty, a 2-year warranty, that covered an 18-year-old furnace with a 20-year warranty. So at this point, their claim is that Gibson still has until 2023 to cover this thing, and therefore their heat exchange died. They should replace the heat exchange free of charge. The warranty company is not going to touch it. And so then their instructions to us are, hey, you need to call Gibson and have them, pony up the dough to fix this furnace.
First world problems.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with this. And so my wife braves through it again to go back and forth with now this new company, new to us, and try to make heads or tails of what it is they need to do. And somehow they turn around, they need to talk to our technician to figure out what's going on there. And so we're kind of at the point now where we've got someone who's knows what's wrong, can do the work, may even have a new furnace and or heat exchange. And so we're just trying to figure out, how do we get that paid for? How do we get that put in place? But meanwhile, it's still cold outside and it's winter. So now we are here in a new different background.
Now as we're sitting here in the hotel trying to, stay warm for the bit, we still have to eventually go home.
So we got an extra night so that we could have kind of a stress-free couple of days, and the kids and I could actually work from the hotel room just to pass the time so we don't have to be at home in the cold. And the Wi-Fi here, I paid the $8 to get the boosted Wi-Fi to make sure we'd had enough bandwidth, and so that's pretty much what got us through the day today. But while that's going on, the drama with actually getting the furnace repaired still carries on. We're now dealing with the Gibson furnace warranty system, and they're trying to figure out who we need to call to actually get that thing serviced, while the guy we have to repair the furnace has never actually dealt with the manufacturers before. So we're trying to figure out how to get him in contact with the people to actually get the money together or moving or whatever to either repair this furnace or just flat out replace it. And so now we're making more calls. Meanwhile, all the people who are talking about this actually probably have heat in their home, so what's their rush? What's their real investment in this?
It's your boy Josh, not back at it again with another video, because this is not my camera. Let's see how my dad finds this out.
So meanwhile, we're chilling out in the hotel. We decided to make the best of it. Kind of had a little bit of a date night. We got some city barbecue. It was a bit salty and not quite as good as Mission Barbecue, which I think was what we should have did, and we'll do that next time. Hindsight's 2020. All the while, we finally get confirmation from our repairman Roger that he may have a possibility of getting credit for the heat exchange towards a new furnace, but he won't find out until Monday. So here we are, Friday night, still in the hotel, and we gotta make plans to get through at least Monday and potentially Tuesday. So after a good evening and restless night, we kind of packed up from the hotel, decided to go home. But before I left, I wanted to show you this vanity. Ooh, that's not a button. How about this one? Yeah, that's a lot of light. On top of everything else that's going on, I get home and I spend the night under the warm glow of a space heater in my office and watch some Netflix and played a little Cyberpunk to pass the time. And I got an email from Comcast that we had in fact hit 100% of our allotted bandwidth for the month on January 30th. First world problems. I talked to the boys about that earlier, that we'd have to figure out how not to exceed the amount. But we get the 1 month for free, and so now going into February, we should be really not using so much data. But when it rains, it pours, or at least in Michigan, it snows. So in the midst of everything else that's going on, our guy for installing furnaces, Roger, is not a certified Gibson installer, so they can't work with him to even get the new furnace. And he can only do a heat exchange, which they don't have. Which at this point, putting a heat exchange in the 18-year-old furnace that's failed probably isn't the best idea. Clearly, at that point, Green is mad. She is mad and caffeinated. I still feel bad for the people she's going to talk to, because essentially it's been a whole weekend while all these people have been nice and warm, and we've been scattering and staying in hotels, and they keep coming up with reasons for why we can't have heat. At this point, I don't think she even realizes I'm just prepared just to pay for the damn thing. Just install my furnace. So I still gotta work, even though my mind is not really into it. We're trying to figure out who's gonna fix what, when, where, how, and why. But there's no rest for the wicked. So as far as story times go, this is pretty epic. I think it's probably because we're telling this real time, as we're in the middle of this madness. Because I can only hope that at some point we actually do find a furnace and it get installed soon. So, Josh just left from Johnson's. I probably shouldn't be saying their names. So the new guy left and basically gave me an idea of what I was going to be looking at. He went out to his truck, he did a digital estimate, and he sent me an email which basically said something like $12,000 some odd dollars. You look closer at the estimate and it's showing you the price breakdown for 3 different furnaces and 2 chimney linings. So really I was only going to 1/3 of that, which is perfectly fine. So with the setup with that, I decided just to buy a furnace and a water heater liner. I didn't get the high-end one, which would have got me a $300 rebate from consumers. I'm just not that pressed about it at this point. I just want heat, which shall be done tomorrow or Tuesday. By the time you see this, it'll be done Tuesday. So they're gonna install this furnace. So I'm happy. We're gonna keep this going. But meanwhile, we're still gonna get through today. This one's playing Fortnite.
Let's go. No. Okay, I always win in first. Okay.
This one's playing Mario Kart.
Yay.
So we may be getting close to the end of this little odyssey here. Today, they should be coming to replace this thing with something new and hot and fancy. And the key word there is hot. Hot. I'm looking for that hot thing. HAWT. Hot furnace. So, let's see what happens. It's not there anymore. Not there anymore. Here's the thing. Outside. So that's what that looks like. What's hilarious is I can hear them pounding on the floor directly beneath me as they're doing whatever they need to do and finish installing this thing. Like you can feel the vibrations through the floor. It's kind of awesome. It's probably why my room is always so warm. New furnace is coming on. Let's see how it sounds. It's showing 53 degrees in the house. It's actually been warmer lately. Okay. That is warm air coming through the vent. I think we have a success here. Well, there you have it. That's the whole story. There is no more. Thanks for watching this video. I really do appreciate Johnson's Mechanical for finally being able to want us to help solve this problem. I definitely want to do a big shout out to my wife Kareen, who did all the phone calls, who contacted all the people, dealt with all the drama. Basically, she battled through it while I was working, while the boys were in school, and she helped solve that problem. Couldn't have done it without her. Johnson Mechanical came out and did a great job. They got here a few minutes before 7 a.m. Didn't leave until a few minutes before 7 p.m. Got everything up and going, just like they said. Everything was spec'd out. Really satisfied with what we got. It's been working pretty well. I actually had to turn the thermostat down last night. I don't know if there's any moral to the story. This is just something that just happened. More first world problems. Read your warranties. Read the fine print on the warranty. Do your preventative maintenance if you can. And if you have to replace a furnace, do it in June. I don't know. That's it. That's all I got for you. If you made it this far in the video, because this was a long one, you are my favorite, and I am glad to have you. Click that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.